All right, I'm interrupting that stupid song because that's not what's necessary or important right now. What is necessary and important is the lovely Miss Aubrey O'Day. We're treating you to an early interview. Usually we wait till later in the show for interviews. This morning, no. Miss Aubrey O'Day joining us right this second. Good morning, Aubrey.
Oh, hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you, aside from the fact that dumbass, messed up head Trump fired you?
I know.
What a load of crap.
I'm fine. It's been a while that I've known that, so it's fine for me. Reliving it obviously sucks. I think at the time I definitely felt like duped, but now it's just reality TV. It's a game. It's never really about who the best is, and usually the best don't win in situations on reality TV. And I think that more importantly, I got to raise money from a great charity. I got to stand up for all the people around that have been bullied, and I got to let my message be clear. And on top of that, I got to show a lot of doubters how smart I am and how much ability I have in business.
I want to say, honestly, like, that's the biggest thing that came across for me watching this season with you is I used to think, like, holy crap, Aubrey O'Day, I used to think you were gorgeous, obviously, but I really thought...
You too.
I know. I'm going to get back on the whole flirting with Aubrey O'Day thing, but I used to I thought you were like a pretty face, and maybe like a pretty voice, and like you could do that kind of stuff, but I had no idea how intelligent you are. But you really went in there and like you held your own like a straight up businesswoman. Like if somebody watched that show and had no idea of background, I think they would have seen you as a very savvy businesswoman. I mean, it was honestly, I hate to say it because it'll seem ignorant on my part, but it was very surprising to me how well you performed there.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm glad that I was really able to do that for whoever saw that in me. I'm glad that was able to be reached and come across on the show.
What do you think? So now it's down to the legendary Mr. Arsenio Hall and the Miss...
Did you just say legendary?
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, they say legendary. That I'm just using the show's terminology for Arsenio.
Oh, okay.
They call him a legend, and Clay Aiken from obviously Spam-A-Lot on Broadway. It's down to the two of them. Who do you think's going to tank it? I mean, do you have anybody that you've got? Do you have a pick? Do you care? Do you say screw them both? What's your attitude?
I worked with Clay in the finale, and the party that I put together for him is unbelievable. And our performance, we all sang and we killed it. And I mean, if the competition is fair, Clay will win. But you never know. It's obviously not fair because I should have been in the final two.
Exactly.
But in my opinion, I think that Clay should win it.
Okay, good. So, do you think overall, if it wasn't you or Clay, do you think that's the right decision, that it should have been either you or Clay to win it, or was there somebody else that kind of got screwed earlier on that should have been down in the finals as well?
I think the final should have been Lisa Lampanelli and I think that even you now see, even when it's Clay and Arsenio, Lisa's running the ship for Arsenio and I'm running the ship for Clay for the most part.
Yeah.
And if they're not showing that on the show, that is what happened. So basically it's our finale, except we're not getting any credit for it for our charities. But I would say it should, if it were just based off of who would be the best business apprentice, I would say it would be Lisa or I. Mm-hmm. But or Clay and I, and with this situation, it's really tricky because usually people that sit back and allow other people to fall on their own swords make it to the end and are seen as these great competitors when really all they did was just sit back and take very little risks and let everyone else kind of fall.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do that. I was told to do that from the very beginning, but unfortunately, I'm not the kind of person that can sit back. I love to be involved. I love to be creative, and I love to put every ounce of myself into whatever project I'm working on. And so, as much as I would have loved to have been able to squeak by like the boys did, I just am not capable of doing that as a person.
I think that's good. In the end, I think that's going to benefit you more in the long run. People are going to watch and they're going to remember, like, Arsenio on the show. It's like, yeah, he was on the show, and whether he wins or not, it's like, I agree. I didn't see every episode, but when I did, he would chime in here and there. But yeah, for the most part, he's sitting in the background.
He didn't take over. He wasn't a leader. He was a follower.
Yeah.
And Clay was a follower too. But they played the game smart in that they always laid back and stayed neutral and didn't piss people off. And I think that when you take over as a leader, it upsets people. I mean, it's like last night I said it, like, in regards to me leaving, I'm a very strong person and I have a very bright light, and you either are intimidated by it, hate me for it, or fall in love with me. And and I think that I believe you don't choose that. You either are or you aren't. I don't think that it's something that you can choose to be in life. I think it's something that you can choose to dull. But in my opinion and in my experience in this industry, why would you ever want to dull something that's so rare?
Yeah. So you're saying, so what you're telling me is people either hate you or they fall in love with you. So you're telling me that there are more people than me across this country that have fallen in love with you? So I have a lot of competition.
And what's funny is, it's never in between. They're never like, oh, whatever. Like, if they witness me in whatever form they witness me in this industry, they either hate me or they love me. So, it's something that I've had to get comfortable with as I've, gotten further and further along in the industry. 8 years of it now has basically just taught me that I am who I am, and I'm not willing to be something a little less threatening. Therefore, there are going to be a lot of people that hate me, and I'm going to have to just be okay with that.
Speaking of haters, what do you think about Arsenio calling you slut? Were you offended by that? Or are you just like, that's Arsenio Hall? Or are you like, I am a slut? Or what's your take on that?
I would feel very sad if any girl said that. That'd be horrible. For me, slut is just like bitch, which was another word he used, or like the C word, which is also another word he used. It's just a way of bringing down someone that threatens you. I especially for women in business, a strong businessman that's fierce, that's a leader, that shows and exemplifies all the qualities that I did throughout the season would be called the man in charge.
Yeah.
And if it were a woman, she'd be called bitch.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We have two people in my studio.
That's the way it works. And you know what? It even gets trickier racially. I mean, I was in a multiracial group, and black women deal with it differently than white women deal with it. And it's unfortunate if we all came together and stopped trying to tear each other down, women would run this world, because it's amazing, how easy it is to manipulate women, especially against each other, and take them down. And I wish more women would be strong in their conviction and strong in their respect for being a woman, period, in a man's world. And if we were, we'd be living in a woman's world instead of a man's world.
That's a very, very good point. Amen, sister. As a guy, that's what I say to that. Amen, sister. Well, what's new for Aubrey? I mean, what's next? What are you going to be working on? What's coming up?
Well, I just released a new song called Wrecking Ball, and I released it on iTunes. It was in the top 20 pop charts, and I'm picking and choosing. I did Jay Leno, and I really wanted to release one of my songs, and I wanted to release a more mid-tempo ballad type song because I'm always recording dance records and releasing dance records. So I just released it. It's called Wrecking Ball, so I'll shoot the video and continue to promote that.
Do you need me? Do you need me for the video?
So many different things right now. It's kind of all about what direction I want to go into. So I'm keeping my feet in a bunch of different waters and kind of feeling out what will make me happy. I mean, being a part of this show even made me feel like going into marketing or potentially having some form of a real job could be really interesting as well. And seeing that I'm good and very capable at excelling in that. In my life, I just want to feel appreciated. I want to feel respected, and I want to feel understood. And as long as those three things are happening, I don't care what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, in our relationship, Aubrey, you will feel all three of those. I will let you know. But
work. Do you have a woman?
No, not if I'm talking to you. No.
I was gonna say that was a long
What I was gonna say, it's so funny to me that you make you make so much money and have so much success, and then it's so funny that you're like, I wonder if I could have a real job someday. It's like, I think anybody with your position would be able to cross over pretty well. I mean, don't you think you really easily would be able to be like a record exec or something like that? I mean, with your experience and your name.
I don't know, because when I've done things where I wanted to do things with teaching kids, and I'm great with kids, and I'm great with teaching, just having traveled all over the world and having learned so many things. I can affect kids' lives in so many amazing ways, but I've been cock-blocked here and there because, I did the cover of Playboy, and you can see naked photos of me online, and that's a big no-no when it comes to, allowing adults around kids, etc. I mean, I've definitely made choices in my career that will make some outlets damn near impossible. I never like to say impossible, but I'd say pretty close. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to be president or run for political office. However, it wasn't Kim Kardashian running for office, and she has a sex tape. So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, I think political office, teacher might be pushing it. I think, the teacher in the nude photos they don't necessarily like, but you could do like adult education. I mean, you could teach like really slow adults and get their GEDs and stuff. I bet they'd allow that.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to go around and almost like do forums or guest speaking. I mean, I'm really good at speaking. I'm really good at inspirational speaking and getting messages across. And I think that if there was some like forum for me to be able to do that and be able to constantly through my work change lives or inspire people and be able to travel with that, I mean, that would be ideal for me. And I'm not exactly sure in what form or regarding what. There's so many things that I could speak about from this industry all the way to dying kids in Africa or India and battered women's shelters. I mean, all of the different charities and projects that I've worked for have taught me so much. So I don't know. I mean, all I know coming off of this is that I'm really smart, I'm really capable, and the sky is unlimited for me, and I'm more so concerned with actually putting some type of timeline on my life now that I'm getting up there in age, which is to prioritize love and potentially children and things like that, because those things have to come sooner than later when you're a woman, and I'm starting to feel the pressure of them for the first time in my life because I've always focused on my career. I don't put time into learning how to be a good girlfriend or a good partner. I'm ready. In a successful relationship, etc.
I'm ready to give you a child, Aubrey. But I will say a little career advice here. I think maybe, have you seen the Kim Kardashian Kanye thing? How it's heating up so much? It's like it's all over all of the papers. I say, with your sexuality always being such a huge issue for people, I say, when Kanye and Kim split up, I say you go in, but you go in for Kim, and you become Kim Kardashian's next lover. I say career move, front page of all the tabloids. I'm just letting you know, just helping out here, Aubrey. That's what I'm here for.
I think I'd rather inspire people in a real way and change lives than date someone on and off to get covers of magazines. I think that there's more value in being an interesting person than being a watched person.
Yeah, you're too smart. You're too smart for me, Aubrey. You can't take my crap and roll with it, damn it. But I love talking to you. And hey, we got your new song in the system, so we're going to play Wrecking Ball for you right now. So,
yay!
Aubrey O'Day,
thank you so much.
You are very welcome. You can check out The Apprentice Sunday at 8 o'clock for the big finale, but screw it anyway. Aubrey and Lisa should have been in it. I like both of them better.
Right,
but
and we are, and we're killing it for Clay and Arsenio, so stay tuned, keep watching, and go to iTunes and download Wrecking Ball.
There you go. Aubrey, love you as always. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you,
Bye-bye.
love.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.